Joining me today is Joe Martin, the chairman of Cambridge House International. The Vancouver show is taking place this weekend, and he's on the line with me to talk a little bit about what attendees can expect. Thank you for joining me, Joe. What do you think will be some of the hot topics discussed this year?
Well, I think with reality of the market, there's a buzz going around the world about the shortage of commodities. And the shortage of commodities are only going to be solved by the ability of the Canadian junior mineral exploration companies to find new mineable deposits. And this is something that a lot of Canadians don't know, but about 60% of all exploration in the world is done by Canadians. And, you know, I've traveled to Korea, China, Quebec, wherever, and there's people from Canada on the ground. And if we don't have the Canadians looking for mineable deposits, the world is in trouble. And I'm talking about a wide variety of metals. And that's what you'll see at a conference such as what we put on. It's not copper and gold. It's everything. It's the critical metals that we need to make super magnets. It's the critical metals we need, like lithium, to make batteries. And we have a wide variety. I believe we have about 350 companies exhibiting, representing probably close to 500, because some companies will manage 2 or 3 or 4 companies. So you have an opportunity to visit directly and look at the face of the people who are the promoters or the companies that are out there going around the world looking for copper, zinc, tungsten, everything. And they're all in one room, and that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world than what we do here in Vancouver at this show.
Joe, one of the hot topics here in Quebec is regarding the government's plan Nord, which is a project looking to develop Quebec's northern area. It's going to take over 25 years. It's going to involve over $80 billion in investments, and it also involves a lot of mining initiatives. Is this something that we might hear about this weekend?
I'm not familiar with that specific plan, but if you go back to the Fraser Institute and look at their annual report in mining, you will note that Quebec is probably the best jurisdiction in the world for mineral exploration. And a lot of our clients who will be at our show in Vancouver here are very, very active in the Quebec region. I'm going out myself in first weekend in July. I'm going on a tour where we can look at the Greenstone Belt with all the mines in production up in the Val-d'Or region.
Okay, so what are some other pressing issues facing the precious metals industry right now that you feel need to be discussed?
Well, I think the fight to protect your capital is one thing, and that means the devaluation of dollars. And, for example, Belarus today, I believe, there's a story in yesterday's Wall Street Journal about Belarus where their currency is devaluating at such a rapid pace that people would rather buy a can of beans and hold that rather than hold the currency. We're not at that point yet in North America, but it could very well happen in the United States. So the fight to gold, the fight to silver, which are alternative currencies and are our currencies, and there's a big demand for people to purchase gold, purchase silver, and as a hedge against the inevitable Armageddon that I think is going to happen in the United States.
So, Joe, obviously not too optimistic about the state of the U.S. economy, I see.
I'm somewhat positive of the state of the U.S. economy, but I don't know how they're going to get out, and I'm not an economist, but nobody seems to know how the U.S. is going to pay off their debt.
I guess we'll have to wait until June 30th when the QE2 wraps up to see what the next steps will be.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's there are some positive things happening in the U.S. Chrysler's repaid its debt. We have a gentleman speaking at our conference from TDK Metals out of Oklahoma, and they've just got approval to build a new factory to build super magnets, which we need in the car industry for electric cars. I believe there's a new electric car plant going into Tennessee. He'll be providing that, and these metals are hard to get. So there are demands for the metals. Copper is at peak copper, and we're going to have another 1 billion people in the world in the next 15 years. And those people, copper is the bellwether metal. We need copper, and you'll see companies like that at our show that are out in the world looking for copper.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. We'll see you this weekend in Vancouver. The Kitco News team will be on hand at the show to provide full coverage.
We look forward to having you here. And go Canucks, go.
All right, definitely. And thank you so much for watching. You can email me your comments and questions at newsfeedback@kitco.com.